Hello, guys, in our seven podcast, and welcome to LBI Properties. Today we have a special guest, Sharon Calderini. She is going to do something like nice for us, for me, especially for me. So something with the financial advising and financial, plan, yeah, for my life plan.
Exactly. Financial planning for the future, for the long
So
term.
welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Can you just introduce yourself, like what kind of company you are working for, and you are the co-founder as well? Yeah.
Yes, so I'm a founding partner of St James's Place here in the Middle East. We're an international business. We're the largest wealth manager in the UK. And we've recently arrived here in the Middle East trying to bring UK quality level of advice here to the UAE as part of SJP Asia.
Wow, interesting. For me, it's something new because I didn't get any services from the financial advisors, but I know in future for sure I need it. I need it now because already I have some kind of mess in my mind how to use my budget, like what I have to do, how to invest. Of course, I can suggest people how to invest in property, but the property it's not only thing what you can get money from. Yeah, it's like part of the budgeting what we have to use. But the other thing, like I'm really like I have no idea how to do it.
That's kind of why we're here. But no,
Yeah.
it's a really interesting point actually, because since being here, we've found that there are very much two types of people. There are those that, Dubai is a very unique place. They're here to make something of themselves, generate a business, earn money, and probably repatriate back to another country later on. And there are two types of people. There are those that are earning more money than they used to and spending it every penny. And their intention is to come out here and earn as much as they can, save it so they can buy themselves the life that they want for later. But they end up going home with nothing because they've spent it all. So that's one sort of cohort of people. And the other is those that are actually building up assets, doing well, building up assets from business income, being entrepreneurial. And then it's a case of, okay, what do I do with it? And I think most people sit in two camps there. They're either putting those proceeds into cash and it's just sitting in the bank, or they buy property. And there's nothing wrong with those two elements, but those two elements alone could cause quite significant problems later on in your life.
It's like a long-term investment and not, sometimes has a risky, but okay, you have to use your money in different ways, yeah? Then you minimize your risk to lose the money and you are like increasing your profit, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
diversifying where you put your savings and assets. You should have some cash. Property is an interesting one. You should have some property. You should certainly have your main residence where you live yourself. And investment properties can be pretty lucrative here, certainly in Dubai. But depending on where you may end up later on in your life, like 20 years down the line, that could have serious tax implications depending on which country you go to. So it's about having some cash, some fixed assets like property, and liquid investments. And that's a whole nother realm. Where do I invest my money? What do I do with it? But in simple terms, they're the three that you should focus on.
Yeah, I understand. And usually if you want to learn by yourself, it will take a long time, and also it's so complicated for some people. Yeah, you have to have a knowledge for many years before, and education, of course. So that's why, yeah, your company can provide it and easily, like to explain like to the kid, yeah, how to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of game.
That's right, it is. And I'm a massive fan of keeping things simple because they don't need to be complex. As long as you're working with a trusted firm who can run the complex side of your investments, it's more about having someone who can project manage you through your life, telling you what to do at certain points, what's the right thing to do.
It sounds good.
Having been told what to do is a good thing, right? And actually, what I tend to find here is that's what most people need. They're busy. No one's got time to sit at home at the weekends looking at their investments. Or not necessarily the expertise either.
Yeah, usually we are spending money on weekends.
And that's what life's about, right? That's why we're all here, to have fun and enjoy it.
Yeah, We are working for that, to enjoy life, but in the same time, you have to know where you will be, like what kind of life you're going to have in few years, not few years, like 10 years, 20 years. Yeah.
That is absolutely the key part. So the process that I tend to follow is something we call redefining wealth, because wealth means different things to different people. What we found over the years, I've been advising for 16 years now, is that wealth isn't necessarily just money in the bank or numbers on a page. It's more about what makes my life fulfilled. What do I enjoy doing? Most people have an idea of what they like in their lives now, what sort of lifestyle you're used to, but very rarely do people start thinking forward to the next 10, 15, 30, 40 years ahead. What do they want their life to look like? So for us, and certainly the process that I follow, is the key element that we need to think about is, before we even think about numbers and money and how to invest, it's what do you want your life to look like? And typically when I sit down with people, no matter what level they are in life and how much they're earning, the big question, if you just sit there and say, okay, what do you want out of your life? It's a difficult question to answer, right?
Yeah, you never think so far. Like you are enjoying today, you know, in like maybe 5 years what you want to do, and then in 30 years you're like, oh, I'm going to be old. What I'm going to like, what kind of I don't know, retirement I want. I don't know. Like some people, they like to stay somewhere like waterfront and enjoying, you know, just. Sitting with the grandkids or something, or with the dog. I don't know, enjoying the view, or maybe not. I don't know. For me as well, it's like a big question.
Yeah, it's interesting you say the word retirement, because people do associate that with being old, like you say, just sitting around doing crosswords or, you know, sitting at home with the dog. But majority of my clients certainly want to be financially free so that they don't have to work. It's more of a choice. Most people enjoy working to some degree, especially in Dubai, because we're workaholics pretty much as a nation here. But normally, you know, the way that health is going, people are quite fit and active at least until age 75. And during those years between 55 and 75, that's a long period of time. Most people want to be going out and having fun. Traveling the world, living a certain lifestyle, spending time with their kids or their grandkids, and being quite active, not sitting at home doing nothing. So when you suddenly got 7 days a week on your hand, you're going to need money in order to fund that lifestyle.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know what to do on the weekends. I feel bored, you know. Then I don't know what I'm going to do when I retire.
Exactly, which is why I never use the word retirement, because I think that's a really outdated word now. It's more about being financially free.
Yeah.
Which then brings us to, you know, rather than thinking, oh, I need to invest because I know it's the right thing to do. Well, that is true. It'd be better to invest than sit in cash due to how inflation eats away. But it's more about thinking about, okay, how much do I need to save in order to give me the lifestyle that I need? Irrespective of growth, we can take certain levels of growth rates pretty low. It's less about what return will I get and more about how much should I be saving. Because we can all take crazy risks, and, you know, I say crazy. This could go down very differently amongst your audience, but, you know, crypto, things like that, high risk type assets, safe and boring tends to be best when you're planning your future, and then maybe play around with a bit on the side for things like that.
Yeah, with the free cash, how to say it, like some money what you're not paying, like you're not in pain to lose. Exactly that. Okay.
So this process of redefining wealth is an interesting one. So what we tend to find is, okay, it's such a big question to ask, what do you want your life to look like? So we have to break it down into bite size. And we break it down into 5 key pillars. Everyone's goals in life fall into these 5 categories. And the top 3 are family, lifestyle, and legacy. Everything that anyone wants in this life, they always fall within those 3 categories. And then we break it down. Start to think about, what are your priorities? Can you prioritize those 3? I mean, just with you, for example, what would be your number 1 from family, lifestyle, or legacy?
I know.
It's a difficult one to answer.
Difficult, yeah. So it's a part of this kind of like questionnaire, like what you're going to take from the client, yeah. We can try.
Exactly. I don't want to put you on the spot. It's really just to maybe get your audience thinking, okay, what do I actually want from life? Because if family is my most important thing, okay, great. What about family? What are the goals under those three categories? Is it that I want to pay for a decent education? Is it that I want to send my kids abroad, maybe to the West, the US, for a university education?
Yeah, maybe to buy for them property as well.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So is it a real desire, a real goal for people to own properties because it makes them feel safe and good about what they're doing? But it's more about what is the money for. So it might be that I have somebody has a real ambition. I'm happy with my current lifestyle, but I'd like it just to be ever so better. Mm-hmm. Okay, how much different is that going to cost compared to what your life is costing you now? Is my goal to maintain my lifestyle forever, or is it to increase it? Mm-hmm. If legacy is important to you, is it all about what I'm leaving my children? Which actually is important to a vast majority of people out here.
Yeah, of course, because you're living your life and then somebody else going to take it, like continuously. So, of course, it's very important, but it's all like connected to each other, yeah. So I mean, like family, and then the family, and then on the end, like what you're going to do with this money. This money, all what you earn, you cannot just take it with you. Yeah, after that.
Exactly. We always say you do not want to be the richest man in the graveyard, because what's the point? I mean, there's a fine balance to be had between looking after yourselves. It's okay to be selfish. That's why we're on this planet, to enjoy our lives, but also leave some money behind for whoever's important.
There is some sense of life, right?
Yeah.
It's so nice, like it's more psychological and philosophical, I don't know.
Much more than you think. It's not just about, just investing. It's okay, what am I investing for? How much do I need? And then part of our job is understanding what those goals are and then putting numbers to them. How much money do we need in order to make those things happen, make your life happen the way you want it to? And that's the fun bit. That's absolutely what we're certainly passionate about.
Because in my experience, I only like helping people to understand how much they can earn from property when they buy, and how many years they have to keep it, and how many payments they have to do, and this and that. Then we can sit and make like a template and calculate everything. So how much they have to earn to take this property or this or that, or maybe to take a mortgage, something. But this one is much more I don't know, like how to say. It's like more not difficult, but useful, I think. Yeah,
I'd agree, definitely.
Yeah,
because often people just think I should buy a property because it's a good return here in the UAE. Currently, good returns, between, let's say, on a sensible scale, between 5 to 8% a year on average. I know that you can get certainly better yields than that, but
it's only in the commercial you can see that you can earn like 30 or 50% yearly, but it's all I know, because I have economical education, so I know it cannot be true. There is something hidden.
Couldn't agree more. We see it in our industry all the time. If you see something that's promising guaranteed returns, you've got to question
like more
that.
than 8%. It's like a little bit strange,
Definitely.
Yeah.
You'd run a mile typically from stuff like that. But safe and boring. So once you've covered off, you've sat there and you've written out all your goals in life. The other two key pillars that we consider is well-being and income. And they're called impact pillars, because those are the two things that have the potential to seriously derail you achieving all your other goals. If your well-being's no good, either mentally or physically, your likelihood of achieving things is pretty slim. Okay, so I'd like to understand then what you need to do in order to ensure your well-being is where you want it to be. It might just be simple, like paying for a gym membership long-term because your mental health is really affected by your physical health. Yeah. Or it could be that you like to spend a certain amount of money every year going on yoga retreats, for example, which is quite a popular thing, I've discovered.
I think it's nice when you have time for that. I wish, really.
I wish, a bit more, right? But that's essentially why, me personally, that's why we're here. We're trying to do good for people, do the right thing by people, by helping them improve their future financial selves, but also for ourselves, right? That's why we're here. Trying to buy a certain lifestyle for ourselves, and that doesn't necessarily need to be sitting on yachts, spending all day on the beach, or traveling around the world. That sounds nice, but
that sounds nice, but not all the time. Sometimes I think it's boring.
Yes.
But I have some friends who has this kind of lifestyle and they like it. It depends of the personality, I think. Yeah.
That's true.
But also they have a big businesses, so they're running, I think, businesses, and you feel like they do nothing, but I think they do a lot, but mostly like online, with the phone, and they have too many managers who is just reporting. That's it. Yeah, but it's really interesting. I was thinking about it like before, because when I saw this and I met these people, and I was like, how boring their life, to sit just on the yacht and like some friends coming, and usually the same people you see every day from day to day, and you never know what was behind it. Like maybe he had a very crazy life and he just tired.
He's
from
just
all of it.
exhausted. Yeah.
He's just exhausted. Yeah, he doesn't want to go anywhere. So you never know. But I think from our lifestyle, because as you say, Dubai is like moving so fast, and we are like hard workers. So I think like after 30 years, I will be a little bit tired. I need a yacht. Yeah, this
You
is
need
what
a
I
yacht.
know.
Okay.
I need a yacht. For now, the small one, and after 30 years, I think the huge, like 150 feet is okay.
Yachts are always an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Yachts are just big black holes where you just throw money
Yeah,
at
you throw
it.
money there. I know it's not investment.
No, I mean,
Like only if
rent
you
it.
have a business, yacht business.
that's
It's
used to entertain
different.
clients.
Yeah.
clients
So
in
maybe
Dubai.
I am going to open the yacht business too.
There's
Why
money to be
not?
made there, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Same like for the luxury cars. Yeah.
Yep, big business.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the lifestyles that we see here in Dubai are interesting, right?
Yeah. It's changing your mindset.
Yeah,
A lot.
completely. And it's
Mm.
fascinating, certainly from my perspective in my job, learning what's important to different people. Everyone's so unique. And actually what I find so interesting is that the biggest problem that most of my clients have is that they actually don't know what their current life costs them. They have a general idea and they think they know, and then when we go through, it's actually nothing like what they expected. If you can calculate exactly how much your current lifestyle costs you, then we can start moving things forward. And there's certain ways to do that.
This is what I have to do for myself.
Yeah.
Honestly, for the last 1 year, I didn't count like how much I spent and how much I earn. This is very bad. Before I was doing that all the time, like constantly, because I was working for the salary. So you have to know how much you spend and how much you earn, and to have some plan. For now, I was enjoying my life because I start getting more money, and then now opening company, of course, it's a lot of spending.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm feeling like a little bit strange, Like before, I used to know how much this, how much that. For now, I don't feel it, and I sometimes I feel a little bit like afraid of the lifestyle what I do now. I'm like, maybe I spend a lot, or maybe not enough. Maybe this is the point where you have to see it and just to put everything on the piece of paper, yeah. Like, and just start making some investment, because sometimes, I feel like I throw money sometimes.
And it's always pretty eye-opening, isn't it, when you put that on paper? Because often when we do it for clients, it's a shock to them. They either didn't realise they were spending so much, or they did, but they wanted to run away from it. Yeah.
Afraid to see it.
The really basic way of doing this really just is a bit of an idea. Rather than sitting down and looking at what you spend and looking at your bills over a 3-4 month period, work it back the other way. How much do I tend to save on a monthly basis? Because that's a more accurate way of seeing how much your general life is costing. So look at what comes in on a monthly basis, the net total income that hits your bank account. Take away fixed costs like mortgage, rent and school fees. After that, what do I typically leave in cash or purposely save somewhere else? And then the difference is obviously how much your life is costing you. The only element that will be missing is your holiday expenditure, which most people pay in one lump sum. That's a key aspect, actually. How much every year do you spend on travelling and holidays? And it's not just the flights and the accommodation, it's what you spend when you're there.
Okay, interesting. We will do that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I have to be ready for that as well.
It's eye-opening.
Yeah.
And a key part of this process, once we've got all those numbers so we can look at how much your life costs you, is to do some cash flow modelling and look over the long term until at least age 80, age 90. If you carry on spending and saving the way you are, what's life going to look like in graph form? have a look. That graph, no matter how much people earn, is always eye-opening. You know, we've got guys who will earn 5 million a year and spend 5 million a year, and it can be just as frightening for someone who's earning 10k a month. So once you've got an idea then of what situation you're in, then that will drive you to do the right things. But yeah, the importance of having an advisor is key, because no one's got time here for this. Everyone's time poor in this country.
Yeah.
Even at weekends, right? I don't know about you, but it's always so busy. It depends if you've got family and or social commitments.
Yeah.
It's time, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
running a
it's all
business.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is almost 7
Kind of
days a
work.
week. Stressful.
Interesting. Really, a lot of things to think about. Like I'm really now thinking that I have to sit with you and start doing that, because I want to know my life in 30 years.
Yeah.
Before I didn't think about it even. So, yeah.
The best way to do that is not necessarily just think, what do I want my life in 30 years to look like? Because it's such a long time away. It's very difficult to imagine where you might live, what you'll be earning.
But it's nice to have goals. At least this kind of motivation going to bring you to another level as well. Because when you don't know what you want, then you will not get anything.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then your life will be boring, and then you're just like downgraded everything, and then you don't feel that you're not enjoying. You're just spending and not enjoying what you're doing. That's it.
Right.
So it's good to think about the future. It's good to think about your goals and how your life will be in 30 years, because it's motivating you to work more, to earn this money, because you know what you are getting on the end of the day. Yeah. So it's nice thing. And really today it was like a session with my psychologist, some kind of.
That's how we'd like to run it. It's almost like a life coaching session, really, before you even get to the financial investing side. You know, figure out what you want. I think the easiest way to do it, just as a tip, is rather than think ahead 30 years, imagine that you were turning 55 tomorrow.
I don't want.
And you were tired. You're tired. You don't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
Or you might only want to do 2 days a week, 3 days a week, keep your toe in.
Something like a hobby, yeah.
Yeah. What would you want to be spending your week doing, you know, if it was tomorrow? That's the easiest way to think about it. I know exactly what I'd want to do if I wasn't working tomorrow.
Really? You already know? For me, sometimes it's complicated to plan my weekend. So that's why I want to travel. I want to go and do some shopping, of course, because I like shopping.
Me too.
Yeah, some art things, some kind of like galleries, this kind of stuff. This is what I'm interested now. Then what else? Of course, spend time with my family. Then to enjoy going and doing some kind of, I don't know, the yoga retreats. I have to do discipline for myself now. So I think when I have more time, then it will happen, hopefully. So some sessions with the yoga, with Pilates, because it's good for health and also for, feeling. What else? I don't know.
You'd probably work a couple of days a week now, because you would clearly enjoy what you do. And if you're passionate about something, it's difficult to let go completely.
Maybe sitting and doing some investment as well, because I have a friend of mine, by the way, I remember, he's Indian, he is from very wealthy family, and the story is, his son, he turned, I think, 14 years old. So on his birthday party, he brought him a check and he said, I'm giving you the check not to spend it on something to go for shopping. You have to invest this money, whatever you like.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then you will just report me after some time, maybe 6 months or something. And his grandmother, she's doing this like a game, already I don't know how many years. So she has some assets in some different companies, financial trading, some kind of, investment. So she's doing that every weekend, sitting and, from one account, putting money in another one, like that. It's like a game. So she was teaching the kid, the grandchild, to do the same. So after 6 months, he said, oh, Pa, now I earn I don't know how many, 20% on top. And he was like so excited about it. And he
Wow.
said, I'm not going to spend it. I want to earn more, because he has now goals to take some car, by himself. He said, I don't want you to go and buy a car for me. I will buy it by myself, because now I can see I can earn it and I will be proud of myself. So it was really nice lesson for me as well. But,
As well as the kids.
like people, they think different, and it's nice to do so sometimes, to sit and maybe enjoy. It's like a casino for yourself. It's like but it's good casino. You never lose. I think
The perfect kind of
Yeah.
casino.
yeah
Yeah, that's a really interesting point, actually, because teaching our kids young is just so important, especially in Dubai, because obviously there's a certain lifestyle that our kids
you
grow
get
up
used
in.
to it,
And learning how to save and manage money as early as possible is just so key. We do work with kids and in schools to try and get that education, that financial education in early, to do just that, because
Yeah.
that pleasure when you've made some money, if you experience that young, that will sit with you forever.
yeah.
But you're
So
right,
I
we
can-
need it as
I
adults
can see
too.
this kid future already.
Yeah, such a brilliant idea.
Thank you, really. I appreciate it. That you are just, making myself now thinking more about my lifestyle, about everything, like what we have to plan, and about money.
That's the whole point. Is I want people to be excited about their future, not worried. How am I going to pay for things later?
Yeah, exactly. I'm more excited than I'm worried about.
That is brilliant. That's all I could ask for.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching us, and see you soon next week on our 8th podcast. Yeah, and welcome to LBI Properties. Subscribe. Bye.